Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the RedCubed podcast. I'm Mogswamp.
I'm Poet.
And I'm HiBoy, and we're joined with our special guest,
ADuelGet. Hey, Hadouken.
321A.
Asian HiBoy this time.
Yes, AZN.
AZN HiBoy.
Yes.
Yep.
Only the best HiBoy.
Only the gamer of the week, HiBoy.
Hey,
Right.
we'll get to that later.
Oh, yeah.
I was just looking at your avatar now that it's like your Skype avatar. Now that it's actually it's the one from YouTube as well.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like Chuck Norris.
Does it? Chuck Norris. What?
Agent Chuck Norris?
That's a
No,
really...
not you, HiBoy. ADuelGet.
Oh, okay, because
and-
I was going to say. Like,
Yeah, that's funny because actually at my work, my real life work, which I wish I could quit so I could do YouTube full time like Poet, but I won't talk about how jealous I am of that. Everybody, like, unbeknownst to me, like, since I started there, everyone was calling me Chuck Norris, and I just found out about it now, so. That's badass.
Well, now you know.
Well, the funny thing is, like, behind the scenes details, when I did make my skin, I kind of, like, I'm not, like, talented enough to do pixel by pixel, so I kind of, like, mishmashed a couple skins together, like, adjusted it a little bit, and the beard that I used was actually from a Chuck Norris skin, so.
That's hilarious.
There you go.
Perfect match.
Wow, I can't believe I spotted that, but it was made with a little kung fu magic, I guess.
There you go.
Mhm.
Ryu from Street Fighter, Chuck Norris, pretty much.
That's right.
some
Yeah.
Best combo.
And then you add in a little ADuelGet in there.
Yep.
Then, yeah.
Everybody needs a little bit of dual get in
And-
their life.
Wait for 2
Yep.
minutes for it to cool down. Then
So,
it's served.
Mog.
Mog, it's your job to segue.
Yeah, I was about to.
Segue.
What feature we'd like to see added to Minecraft most? Huh. That's a
Interesting.
tough one.
Yeah.
Stained
It's
glass.
especially, it's like I haven't even thought about this yet.
Love stained glass suggestion.
So just a bit of a backstory, because we're probably going to make a bunch of references to this.
Oh yeah, let's do that first. Yeah.
So
please.
due to emergency event, I couldn't be there for the recording of the podcast.
Right.
So Poet decided to record it, right? And he agreed to. So we had an entire podcast recorded with British HiBoy this time around, aka
British
Liam.
HiBoy.
British
Right.
HiBoy.
And Poet recorded it, but he forgot to add his own voice.
Yes.
So this is why we're doing this one.
An hour of
Yay.
recording was wasted. So I mean, this is gonna be like deja vu for all of us.
Except for me.
It's not even gonna be like Deja Blue.
Because Liam was there last time, and he and I were talking about like the Better Than Wolves mod a lot when we got to this segment of what we want added to Minecraft. So I can still talk about that. But
I
Mog,
can
what do
be
you want
Liam.
added?
Yeah, in regards to what feature I'd like to see added most, I mean, granted, I've never thought about this really, but shipwrecks, sponges, and more dungeons. No,
Roll past them quick.
Next.
I
No.
actually like shipwrecks. I like that.
yeah,
idea.
shipwrecks was an idea I had, but apparently has been stolen from me.
Yeah.
Well,
to
it
put it
came
in the
about,
ocean.
like, we were talking about sharks and stuff, like hostile mobs in the ocean, and I said, like, what's the point, really? Because once you settle down in Minecraft, like, you're not going to go out into the oceans that much, so you might as well make something to make ocean exploring worthwhile, and then you're going to have the dangers there as well, too. So
Yeah.
you might
The
as well
ocean
put those
makes up a
together.
huge amount of the Minecraft world, and it's like untapped.
Yeah.
You mostly don't go under the water if you have a boat and you're traveling, so what's the point of it? There's a lot of water. Why not make a certain type of resource that you can only get under there, like sponges or something else more valuable?
I mean, like, if you make the
Clay
ocean
is nice,
deeper,
but
Clay is nice, yeah, that's one. That's a good example.
what was
But
that?
like a reason to even build underwater, you know?
right.
That's
I had said Clay, hi boy.
Oh, okay.
Get new ears.
And they
the-
have
the-
made it a little bit easier to go down into the water with the potions and stuff now, too, so
in the
it would
helmets.
plan yeah.
I mean, what I would do is like make the ocean a lot deeper first. So
Well, they did
like,
that.
no, not quite. Like I think they stop at like a little bit below whatever it is, but like I would like to see it deeper and like a bit more of a challenge.
Well, I think there's, you know how they have, like, you'll have a mountain or like a plains biome, but then a plains F biome. I think there's like an oceans deep biome, like
Oh,
a deeper ocean
okay.
biome.
Well, in that
But
case,
I could be incorrect, but
I don't know.
I'm not qualified.
I have not heard anything about it. So
Ocean's Deep, is that the new movie
Yeah.
in the Ocean Saga?
right, yeah.
they got tired of numbers. So
Yeah.
And then my other thing was minecarts. Furnace minecarts are horribly broken. Like there's no user interface when you enter the minecart. There's no GUI, as a programmer would say.
Right, exactly.
And so
GUI.
There's no
Yeah.
Segui.
Segui.
There's no way to add coal or anything into a furnace minecart. There's no way to do much with minecarts. So without really complex redstone stuff, fix it. Fix your game. And then sponges, because they're already in the code, they could suck up water. They could, and we read this on the subreddit because I went to our Minecraft suggestions, and it was if sponges, you could place them around like noisy pistons and they wouldn't make noise anymore, which I thought was brilliant.
Oh, noise dampening.
Noise dampening.
Yeah, of pistons specifically, really. Because I mean, what else really makes noise?
Mine carts.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Put them under
gosh,
the rails.
mine carts.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
The
mob
pain.
farms too. Like if you have like 20 cows or something in one area,
And hoppers.
walls around it.
Okay, now we're thinking.
Hoppers and dispensers, if you've ever heard them, like,
Yeah.
or portals.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Thank you for the example there, Mog.
Yeah, no problem.
You should be a voice actor.
Yeah, you
You're
should.
Yeah. It's that
I bet
guy
you-
from Police Academy.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Mog, it's almost like you could do impressions of people, and that's what I would expect.
Yeah. I had
Uh,
to specifically laugh that way just so that people could see.
Oh. They got it.
My
They
apologies.
got it. Yeah, I think so.
Let's see. I guess I'll go next since I wasn't here for that one. Firstly, I'd like to see a feature that removes Minecraft cart noise. Just minecart noises.
We just talked about that.
I know, but like
Sponges are
I
the
just
key.
want it gone. Like I
Slogan,
want it dead.
Sponges,
turn
they
down-
suck.
And
They
there's
suck.
there's already a mod for this as client side, but I really want to see it included in the real game.
You can just turn down players, and it turns down the.
Oh yeah, but it still plays it for me. I turn players all the way down to 0, and I could still hear it. But
I turned the master all the way down. I still hear it.
That's
Hear it in my
unavoidable. But
It haunts my nightmares.
I would like to see the inventory organization mod included in the game, like the
Yes.
one where you could click a
Yes,
button
yes,
and everything
yes,
organizes itself.
Yes.
Like I
And they've
need
already
that.
been moving in that direction. Like people are like, oh, maybe makes the game too easy, but they've been
How?
adding more and more features to make crafting easier. That's like pseudo hard. It's
Yeah.
not difficult. It's just annoying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It doesn't
I
detract
would
from
love
the game.
that. In fact, there have been many times where I've wanted to install NEI or I think it's TMI
Mm-hmm.
are the two,
Yeah.
just to have the item sorting. I don't care if it has crafting recipes or I can spawn in blocks in an interface like that or save inventories and stuff. I don't care. Give me the little tiny button that appears on chests to click it, sort the chest. That's
Yes.
all I want.
And it's so useful too. Oh my goodness! Like you can spend more time doing other things than like organizing your wool so all the colors are together and stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
well, that's why you make a sorting system. Wink.
That
Well,
okay?
yeah.
The amount of work that you put into that versus just like clicking them around is kind of. Anyway,
I can
Yeah,
see that. I
that's
think
all
we
I want.
talked about in the last time basically that there are a lot of mods out there that do a lot of the things that we want, but having it in vanilla is kind of, it just takes that extra step out of it. And you don't have to wait for something to be compatible when you update, you know.
And you
Don't have to
like
go
we
look-
said, you can't just do a
Files.
let's play. Oh, sorry. Skype
No,
is like pooping out
done.
on me.
Good.
You can't just do a let's play with like one little mod. Like you can do a let's play with a big mod and make it a modded Minecraft series, but you can't just be like, "Hi, welcome to my vanilla let's play with inventory or the organization." or something.
Yeah.
You know, it's-
Recapitator
stupid.
mod with the
yeah.
Yeah, tree capitator.
People will just be like, "You're lame. Goodbye."
Yeah, exactly.
Or here's my modded or here's my vanilla survival with raised minimap or something like that.
yeah.
There's little things like that you should just reserve for when you're doing a modded Minecraft series. You can't do it when you're recording vanilla and it's not vanilla, or people will complain. That's the thing. You might be okay with it. Maybe some viewers would be okay with it, but it's not a vanilla series. Then I guess is what I'm saying.
And that's all the comments will be is like, that's not vanilla. You have one little mod installed.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. Yeah, it could be the most insignificant thing too.
Yeah.
What I wanted to see, apart from the sharks, the sunken ships and different things under the water would be really cool. It was mentioned on a different podcast that I was on Friday.
What? There are no other podcasts.
They actually mentioned the sunken ships thing when I was mentioning the hostile mobs in the water. I think that's kind of it's the natural progression of what you would need hostile mobs in the water for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the other thing I really wanted was to have more dungeons and places out there in the world that you can explore to the scale of like a village with custom mobs and custom treasures and custom buildings. I mean, they have the jungle temples and the temples in the desert and things like that. They have obviously all the villages and stuff that the villagers are in. But have those types of things more frequently with vanilla Minecraft. Like you look at a game like Cube World where they have you'll be walking down a path and all of a sudden there's some ancient ruins just out of the blue. Or you'll walk and all of a sudden there's this castle.
Yeah.
And the castle has a certain difficulty and you have to beat the boss of the castle. Like that's what I've always wanted. They've had those boss rooms in mine shafts for a long time. Use them. Make bosses in mine shafts and make them an event. But that's just one thing. The other thing was a little bit more difficult crafting recipes for things like food. I've often wanted cauldrons and stuff that you could actually see the things cooking and add in ingredients at certain times.
Yeah, what are cauldrons doing?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Cauldrons
have
catch
cauldrons.
rain, apparently.
Yep, they catch rain, water in the nether.
Catch
That's
rain.
about it.
I mean, you look at a mod like Better Than Wolves, and me and Liam, I was trying to tell Liam about it when he was on that failed recording. It was basically a guy who said when they added wolves to Minecraft, but no other really essential benefits, he made this mod Better Than Wolves to show, like, this is what you could have done, this is what you could have done, this is what you could have done, and sort of added on top of each other to the point where it is now its own huge experience. One of the things that I really, really liked when I used to play that mod was the fact that you had a special cauldron for cooking, like a special cooking pot, and you'd throw ingredients in there, and depending on how much fire you added or how many of the ingredients you added, it would cook different things in different ways. That's what I'd like to see added to vanilla Minecraft.
And the more complicated the recipe, the better the food. Right now, it's like you make a pumpkin, it's got like the most complicated recipe, or cookies, or cake, but they all suck.
You add you're almost doing it right in that you add in these things that require all these different ingredients. Like, okay, take this, add it to this. But what I'm more getting at is like, take this, add it to this, it crafts a certain item. Take that item, add it with this other item that you crafted, it makes this fourth item or fifth item, whatever I'm at now. And then from there you can add it to like make different things, just to give you more things to craft, more ingredients to have. But yeah, give them more effect. Like when you make a cake, you eat a whole cake, and it gives you less saturation than like a potato.
Well, and once you put it down, you can't pick it up again.
Yeah.
So it's not like you can run around with a cake, because they're pretty good food if they were portable, but they're not. So
make a crafting recipe for plates.
Yeah.
Adding on to the cake thing, like what I always wanted was like progressive food. So like I could eat half of a bread.
Yes.
And
That's
then
progressive.
like, huh?
Nothing.
But we have a eating animation. You know, like when you're eating, it takes time. So why can't I stop halfway? You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
That was just something that was always
Like
burning
they'd
in
have
my
to
heart.
almost have a little hit bar on each piece of bread,
Mm-hmm.
and it dwindles down as you're chewing on it or something.
Yeah, and like that would be awesome, at least in my perspective of things. But
Yeah.
It'd be interesting. Yeah, I never thought of it like that.
I think that would be pretty hard to implement, but it's a good idea. I don't mind it.
Let's see, Duel.
Hey, what's up?
I
Challenging him to some
it's
sort
time
of
to
Time
Hadouken. Okay.
to duel. So yeah, Poet kind of stole some of my stuff there that I said in the
Good.
last one, but
I hope I did.
that's cool. The food thing, yes, because I talked about once you get into the game far enough, you're pretty much just going to eat like potatoes or steak because there's no point in doing anything else because it's the best food.
Yeah.
And there's the recipes that are harder to get these foods that are not as good. Like the problem with the game sometimes is that there's realism in the wrong places. Like, of course, in real life, if you eat a pumpkin pie, it's not going to be that great for you compared to like eating protein like a big steak or something like that.
Right.
But it's a game, and the balance of the game should be that if something is harder to make, that it's more beneficial than something that you could just pick up off the ground. And that's definitely something that they need to add. Maybe if they just add, say, a potion effect to some foods, and it goes back to the cooking thing, where maybe you can add in some kind of ingredients to give you some kind of extra benefit besides just like the hunger and the saturation. So that was an idea I actually had a while ago of, what if you could use an anvil maybe to combine a potion and the food just to make, like, for storyline purposes, say you wanted to eat cocoa beans, you can make it where you can eat cocoa beans now and they give you some kind of speed boost or something. You know?
Yeah, I was thinking of cocoa beans, carrots make your vision better or something somehow.
Yeah, and sugar, of course, too. But that was one of the ideas that I had. And another one was, of course, the dungeons and stuff like that. There needs to be more stuff like that and more biome-specific mobs, because then it gives you another reason to go out and maybe hunt a boss or something like that.
Yeah.
Because now it's almost like they're going away from that, because they did take the witches and they took them out of the witch huts. Now they could, I mean, they still spawn in the witch hut, but they can spawn anywhere now.
Yeah.
And actually, I can play the game and just play the game naturally, and I'm going to see more witches outside than I see in a witch hut, because most of the time they don't spawn unless you like actively try to get them to spawn. So that's kind of a mistake. I think they need to have more reasons to go hunting around, and of course, like with the sharks and stuff like that, that would add to that. Which also brings up the Nether, and that definitely needs an overhaul in terms of hostile mobs in the area, because besides
talking. That's a great suggestion.
Maybe a ghast. Yeah, maybe a ghast would trap you every once in a while. You have some trouble with ghast, but like other than that, there's like pigmen, and like unless you accidentally hit one, they're not really a threat.
Blades, wither skeleton,
and those are only if you go to a fortress. So it's like just the
fortress,
the general
slimes
area
that are useless.
Yeah. If they just
time to get more hostile mobs, a big rhinoceros creature that storms through blocks, breaking everything in its path.
Yeah, there you go.
Sounds lava.
Like my favorite part.
Whenever you go near the lava, a big hand comes out and grabs you. Something like that.
Like my favorite part about Minecraft with the mobs has always been they're so original. Like, when have you ever heard of a creeper or an enderman or a blaze or a ghast
skeleton?
Yeah, well those ones aren't original, but like a lot of them are like creatures that are really, really cool and imaginative, I guess. So
I think Liam said, British HiBoy in the last one said there should be some kind of other dragon in the Nether that you can fight.
I'm a genius.
Which and so that would be something cool too. But then if you just add another hostile mob, which makes the Nether in general more dangerous, then it makes the trek to find like stuff like quartz in a Nether fortress more of a journey, and it makes it more fun, because then you actually enjoy like finding a fortress and being able to try to get out of there with the loot, trying to avoid all the dangers and stuff like that. I'm trying to think. I think there was one more idea I had, and it was, you talked about the tree capitator mod. Why couldn't that be added as an enchantment for an axe? That's what I don't get. Because right now we have fortune on an axe, and seriously, what is the purpose of that? They added the fishing poles, and they added all those enchants for them when they upgraded the fishing. So if they're changing enchants on stuff and making it more specific, why not add that to an axe, and that's
Specific
something.
wood cutting ability.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
See, so that's
I've
definitely-
always wanted an enchant for a pick where you mine up iron and it instantly smelts it.
Yeah.
and
That's
in a-
always been something that I've wanted an enchant that could do that.
that's in one of I think it's Thaumcraft as well. There's another mod.
Oh,
feature.
really?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I
crazy.
think So yeah, something like that. They should add some more specific
What
stuff
about
to the enchants.
what about dungeon instances, kind of like the Aether has? I don't know how many of
yeah,
you guys played the
instances?
Aether.
Oh yeah, I see.
What do
Basically,
you mean by instances?
you walk up to a dungeon and it's actually a thing that you enter into, and when you enter into, you can't leave it. If you leave it
Oh.
ahead of time, you've lost the loot. You have
Yep.
to beat the boss in there in a certain way, get the key, open the boss door, beat the boss, then you can leave with the loot.
Mhm.
Like, that was a really, really creative idea. I thought the Aether added. The Aether 2, I should correct. The Aether 2 added that really put them ahead of most other mods for customizing Minecraft. Was the dungeon
Yeah.
instances. That would be really awesome to see in vanilla Minecraft. When you're walking through the nether and you see a nether fortress, going into it is an instance. And if you don't beat the fortress properly, your loot's gone.
Mhm.
That
Mhm.
would be, I think, it would make adventuring a lot more interesting.
Dangerous,
Anyway,
fun.
it would
Yeah.
make going with a party much more essential.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
The thing is, like, that was my favorite part about the Aether, was being able to go into the dungeons and goof around like that. And like, there's so much scare, like when you're in the dungeon. Like it wouldn't matter if I had the most buffed up armor. Like when I go into that place, it's high risk, high reward.
Yes,
And that's what I liked about it. Like I could lose all my stuff in there, but I
Yep,
could also
exactly,
walk
yeah.
away with like the craziest equips ever, and whatnot.
Yep, you're right. You're right.
But
So, ready to the next?
come on,
topic?
Mog, say you.
Mog.
Seg
you
someone
it.
else seg you. What's the topic?
Speaking
what
about
happened?
mods, a week is in some way a mod. No,
Horrible
Oh,
segue. Horrible segue.
Speaking
don't know
speaking
how
of
to
all
do it.
those features, they would probably take like a week to be implemented.
Yeah. About a
Oh,
week.
speaking of weeks, there you go.
yeah. Looking back on our week,
What happened
Yeah.
during our weeks?
What
We
happened-
really need official titles for these.
Nothing
things.
eventful, I think.
what happened during our week?
Ding.
Mogswamp, you start us out. You're our MC.
Okay, so shot up some heroin,
Oh,
bought
God.
some whores. No, okay. I didn't
That was
do much.
today. We're
Ed.
talking about the week.
Yeah. Well, speaking of today, so first earlier this week I got a flat tire, a really flat tire. I mean, there was like a hole in it. And I don't know how that happened. And so I had to get that fixed. And then today, after doing a 4-hour stream, I went sledding, and I guess my keys, I was going to leave them in my car, but I guess I forgot, and they were in my sweatshirt, and sledding, and they're gone on a hill in the snow somewhere.
Oh no.
And so I had to drive home in someone else's car, get the spare key, come back, drive home, and now I got to go back there tomorrow, look for my keys. But yeah, it was a great week.
And you call that an excuse for being late for the podcast?
Inexcusable.
I agree. It is kind of inexcusable
Yeah.
having a social life.
Come on, Mogswamp.
Sorry.
Dare you?
But all right. I guess I'll go next in order and whatnot.
Gamer of the week.
Yep. Actually, I'll go last. Now that I think about it.
Too cool now?
Because I just realized how great of a segue that would be.
Mhm.
What? Talking about?
No.
He's
Oh,
planning.
right,
his segment
right.
ahead.
Seg-
Right.
se-
Right. Right.
I mean,
I'll go.
Duel. How was your week?
It was okay. Like I was hoping at least at this point to have better net, because right now I think I get maybe 10, 13 up or down and like 0.98 up, and I did some research and I was gonna go with Time Warner and get up to 30 download and 5 upload, and I was excited because they were going to come out Wednesday, and then they were like, okay, well, we don't have any cables going to your place.
Oh,
Everybody
no.
around you has cable hooked up, but we don't have any cable going here. So they went through some pipes, fished some stuff through the pipes to see if maybe there was an empty pipe going to my place. And I was out there helping them try to hear and see if anything was there, but nope. They said that they were going to have to get a construction crew to come in and dig under the street.
Would you have to pay for that, or?
No, they said that I wouldn't have to pay for that. And the first guy, actually, there's 2 guys came out the first time. They actually said that they were going to try to put a rush on it, so like by Friday I would have internet. But then later on, one of the guy's brothers came again and was looking at it, and he came to the same conclusion that they're going to have to do construction to dig under the street to lay a pipe from a neighbor. And he acted like it was going to be like maybe, I think he said like 4 to 5 business days, and then I was like trying to say like, oh, well, will you call me when you're going to do it or something, or will you keep in touch? And then he was just kind of like, whatever. And so it's been now, it's like the weekend. I'm hoping Monday maybe they're going to come out, but we'll see. So yeah, that's kind of annoying. 'Cause I already did pay.
I don't think they're going to come out on the weekend. That's very, very wishful thinking.
Yeah, of course not. But I just figured Monday. Now, hopefully, because they should have already. The thing was, the most annoying thing about it was on Wednesday when they did come, it was like 9 in the morning, and they said that they would be able to have the construction crew come down, but they sent them home early because there was no work. I'm like, seriously, how early do you guys start to where at 9 in the morning you're saying, okay, there's no work, go home? Like, if they would have just waited an hour, they would have had a job to do.
Yeah.
And then the following 2 days, they still couldn't come down. So that's what I don't get. But, yeah, that's pretty much my week. I think for the most part, that's the most eventful, or maybe the only eventful thing that really happened. So,
week.
Yeah.
All right.
My week was exciting. I did a lot of things actually. Did I live stream in that week?
Yes.
Was that I live streamed, which like never happens.
I'm a poet's secretary. I keep track of everything he does.
I live streamed. That was something cool. I want to do it more. I never live stream. I know a lot of people who live stream a lot. HiBoy is one of them. And
Twitch.tv/HiBoyMC. Twitch.tv/HiBoyMC.
Exactly. And so I see people like that doing that, and I want to get into it much more. But because when I do it, I really enjoy doing it, and I love interacting with the people that way. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I'll do more.
You know, I just really love it, but
I love it. But yeah. At the same time, I like dedicating all of my time to YouTube and not so much Twitch, which, I mean, for me, Twitch, which for me, you don't get paid to do, and where can I spend my time? You know, if I'm going to be playing the same video game anyway, I might as well be doing it to post on YouTube or live stream on YouTube, which a lot of people don't seem to like yet.
Yep.
I don't know how it is with the new Google integration thing. I haven't tried it yet.
Not any different. It's just sucks. It just sucks.
We'll see.
I'll
maybe give it another try. I gave it a try before. I didn't think it was too bad. The chat didn't refresh on its own.
Yeah, it's like once every 10 minutes or something.
Yeah, this is something that I actually tried. I went on Twitch, and I recorded my YouTube videos live on Twitch.
Yeah, I've seen Joe Hills do the same thing.
So I tried it out just to see how it would go, and my viewers really enjoyed it. And they still watch my YouTube videos, which is the weird thing about it. So, like, I thought that would be, like, my kind of in-between route whenever I needed time to record, but I also wanted to stream and stuff.
That's interesting. Maybe I'll give that a shot.
I think it's because they
do that.
They like to see their name in the video after they saw their name on the screen, like if you're doing the Minecraft with the Twitch integration.
Uh-huh.
I think that's one of the ththings behind it, too.
Thou MD Pout, say my name in the chat.
Yeah. Okay, fine, I'll say it. Hi, boy.
I'm a cat poet.
Oh, I would like to commission...
Oh no, Mogswamp went down the gutter.
Come on.
Oh my gosh.
That was poet impersonation.
Who's who?
I was laughing already. I figured
we don't know
might as
anymore.
well make it into a poet laugh.
Yeah, people told me that I can sound like Etho.
Oh, yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it.
What was the Oh yeah. Hello everyone. My name is Etho, and welcome.
Wow! Wow!
It was better
Say
in the
no
stream. You
more.
should have
Two
heard it.
snacks.
No more.
Yeah, it was better in the stream, but apparently I'm
that
Etho
was
version
pretty
2.
good. That
So-
was pretty good. Now all I can hear is Etho. Hi, Etho.
So basically, I should just go and try to steal about half of his subscribers, and I'll be set. So,
Why settle for half?
just take them all, like ruin his career. Easy peasy.
Hi, Etho.
Great. So also in my week, I was on the Shaft podcast with the Dead Workers Party.
Boo, traitor.
Yeah, well, hey,
Well,
it was
HiBoy's gonna be next, right?
So it was.
Who, me?
Yeah, right.
Am I?
Guy now.
I hope so. I always wanted to be on the Shaft. I've been watching the Shaft since Co. First
there
one.
you go.
Yeah, too. It's been on for ages, and that's why I mentioned this when we did the podcast last time. But it was always the thing where when I started making YouTube videos, when I had like no subscribers, I'd be watching the Shaft podcast and saying like, "Gee, how did those guys get on that podcast?"
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
how
and
did?
now you're on.
And now I was on it, so it was kind of like. I'm not gonna say it was a dream come true type of event, but it was
an
Don't
accomplishment.
deny it.
definitely a milestone accomplishment in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you all heard him. If he wants to be on the Shaft, get him on the Shaft. You did the Gamer of the Week thing, so
Yeah. I mean, was it Wes left, right? So. Oh wait. Oh, you're talking about me. I thought you
Yeah.
meant like make Poet a regular on the Shaft. And I was
No,
like,
no,
oh yeah,
no. I'm talking
Yeah,
about
yeah,
you,
why
man.
not? Hey, I'll be their new host.
yeah, man. Like, get all the money.
Definitely, I'll have to move to Huntsville.
Yeah, everyone go tweet out Dead Workers Party saying that
Yeah,
that you want me to be on that show. No, but the way that they operate things is a lot different than they used to. So I
Yeah,
don't know about that.
and even from a professional standpoint, I think the way that we prepare for this podcast, as amateurish as our podcast is,
Mhm.
we present it to the people we have on and stuff almost a little bit more professionally, but I mean,
Almost.
they've been doing it for so long
Mhm.
that
that is
they
just
don't
natural.
need a huge
Yeah.
amount of prep. It's just literally it was they called me up and it was
Whoa.
you're on the air by the
Robot
way.
poet. Beep boop beep
Robot.
beep 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 boop.
Transformers.
Robots in disguise.
Yeah, is it
No
better now?
copyright.
Uh,
Oh, take it down.
Oh
re-record.
crap! Oh no, that's not good. Well,
Yeah.
There you go.
Say it
Well,
in
maybe
the
it'll
non-
get you out of your contract
Yeah.
at least.
GG well
Yeah.
played.
Oh, there you go.
Wait, poet. I think you might need to like hang up and then come back in.
I'll be
Yeah.
right back.
Okay, let's ditch it.
I'll be
now.
right back.
So how was your Gamer of the Week, by the way?
No, he's back. He's back. So,
Am I-
what were you saying, poet?
Yeah, okay. I was on the Shaft podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I did a live stream, and I joined Two Girls One Minecraft on their live stream with
Yay!
Two Girls One Minecraft, Slamacow, and Basher showed up. So it was pretty cool.
Hey, I
Get
showed
to
up
Sounds
hang
like a
out
too.
with
violent affair. Slam a cow.
HiBoy was there, I think.
Yeah, I was.
Um,
See, I'm that
Love that
forgettable to poet.
Steve showed up. I think Liam was there for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
HiBoy, you got special guest treatment as well while you were there.
For once.
Yeah.
I cried.
Big shot
Tears
now.
of
He's
joy.
better than everyone. Just because you have more subs than me doesn't mean you're better than me.
You're gonna pass me in like 2 weeks, man.
No, you're gonna pass me like doubly.
Please.
You're gonna double pass me.
Stop
Double
it.
You're gonna
Pass
pass
Stop
me, I'll
it.
pass you, but then
Stone.
you'll pass me again.
But yeah. So
Yeah,
that's an exciting week, poet.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. And then the usual
So
stuff. I've been putting out like 5 or 6 videos a day. It's
Oh,
pretty
you're
crazy.
nuts with that. Seriously.
Yeah. I guess I'll go now. So
Yep, go for it.
the last 3 days in particular have been kind of nuts.
Gamer of the week.
So y'all seem to take this thing seriously.
Before you continue, I want to commission. Can I get a million subscribers, guys?
Let's make it happen, guys. Come on.
Thank
Do
you.
it.
guys
I
can
don't
do
care
it.
about 1 million subscribers. Give me $1 million bucks. I'll be happy. as a lamb.
Oh man. So what happened was if you guys are new to this podcast, last podcast I said as a joke, guys plus Gamer of the Week.
It It was
know?
totally a joke.
It
I mean,
was
we
a
talked
joke.
about it after, like, that would be funny, wouldn't it?
And then I noticed that someone commented under the YouTube video saying that, so I immediately told Poet about it. And I was like, yeah, so that happened. And we were thinking, oh yeah, nothing about it. And then the next time I checked, after, of course, I asked Poet and Win to upvote it, I had 7 upvotes on that one comment. I thought to myself, this might actually be a thing. And then that Friday, I was out, and all of a sudden I noticed that I got like 4 emails in the past like 2 minutes. So I was thinking to myself, this isn't normal. That normally doesn't happen. So I clicked.
Like, you get the emails when someone subscribes? Or?
Yeah, I get emails when people subscribe.
You know, it's a funny story, but the reason that I turned that feature off, I turned it off, was when I had won the Gamer of the Week.
Really?
Was my phone just started going crazy. And that's when I got a text from friends saying, you just won.
Battery went dead in like 2 minutes.
Yeah. But so what happened was I was going like, okay, maybe this happened. So I went on Cupquick's thing, and usually when you could see like the person's channel name on the screen, so I just kind of scrolled through the entire thing really quick, and I didn't see it. So I was like, oh, well, I guess I didn't get it. And I checked the description, and then my channel name was there. So I kind of jumped where I was sitting, and everyone around me was staring at me. But that was about it. And then this was better than winning Gamer of the Week, okay? This was legitimately better. Cupquick went, he has very good thumbnails.
Yeah, well,
All my hard work and 5 hours learning Photoshop paid off in that one moment.
There you go.
it helps to be Asian when it comes to nails.
You heard it here, folks.
I'm gonna learn something.
You know where to send your racial hate.
Hey, Mogswamp's
Mogswamp.
Jewish. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Mogswamp, why would you make that comment?
Anti-Semitism.
I'm just the Jew. Shalom.
Boys?
Hanukkah. I don't.
Oh, well, yeah, so that was my week. It's been kind of crazy. First day I got over 400 subscribers. So, I can't wait to see the hype die down and see who actually sticks around.
Yeah.
Hype boy.
Yep, hype boy.
Hype boy. Yeah.
I do know that a few of the people who long ago subscribed because of Gamer of the Week have stuck around. It's pretty cool to see them still around.
Well, how many subs do you have now, HiBoy?
I am currently sitting at around 2370, I think.
Bastard.
But does it matter?
Let's discuss whether it matters or not.
Yeah. That was actually a very good segue, Mog. Segu. Props to you, sir. Segui. See, that's a feature that we need in Minecraft, the Segui mod. So we have a GUI as to when we segue during our podcast. See, genius.
It would be almost as good as the RedCubed mod.
The RedCubed.
So
Which sounds
someone
similar to RedCubed.
was on the Minecraft forums and they found a mod that said RedCubed.
That was me. I found it.
You're
Yeah.
That name, it's just a bad name. It's not even that it's a ripoff of our server. It's just that RedCubed is a horrible name.
It's almost as bad as Minecubed.
Yeah. Oh,
whoops.
dig. But yeah.
That is just a really funny name. I'm not afraid to say it. It's a hilarious name.
Okay, but let's move on to sub counts. Do you guys think sub counts matter?
It
We
depends.
talked about this a lot in the last podcast.
This was yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of, like, I hope that we cover all the same bases that we covered before. This was the best part of the last podcast, if I'm to be honest.
We went
The
deep
big
into this one.
kahuna.
Because this matters to all of us.
Welcome to the RedCube podcast, where we talk about the podcast that we weren't able to air.
And
Right.
You'll never hear.
Yep.
Right.
So, I was in a stream today, and HiBoy said something to me that was interesting about meeting you, Poet. He was
Hi.
telling the story of how he
He
met
said
Poet.
he hated my content,
Yeah.
but
Still.
because I had a high sub count,
Yep.
Mhm.
I was like, oh snap! I need to be good to this guy. So I was.
Yeah. And you rubbed his tummy a little, and it was lovely.
He loved you. He loved him
He fed
forever.
me biscuits.
I rubbed my Buddha belly, and I went. I must talk with
But-
him.
The main reason we're talking about it is because we are looking for new members on our server. Don't send us messages.
Send them all to HiBoy.
No. You see,
No, I'll take them. I don't mind the messages. Whatever fills up my inbox. I'm lonely over here. Anyways,
so sad.
So
Okay, but
one of
really-
the things that brought it about was we had a
Yeah.
spreadsheet, and we were
Yes.
commenting on different people we were talking about, and in that spreadsheet was a little column that had the sub count of each person we were considering, and we were talking ethics of doing that. Poet, you're the guy. Go.
Yeah, because
it.
when I saw the spreadsheet, and first I want to say that I've said it before, I'll say it again, that if you're ready to join RedCubed, it's not something you apply for. It's something that, like, don't call us, we'll call you type of mentality.
Yep.
Like, when you're ready for RedCubed, you won't need to ask. You'll just know, and we'll know too.
Yeah.
Like, that's
exactly.
Well, I
That's just
asked Mogswamp when I got on.
it's well, yeah, but you also
Duel,
like,
you're
you-
ruining it.
I'm undermining the whole
you
system.
can say no to Chuck Norris. Give me a break.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah. Well, he was my
But-
best friend already. Can't say no to your best friend.
The thing is, like, sub count in that case, when I say it that way, should almost matter the least. I guess it only matters when you absolutely have never heard of or worked with or done anything with the person, maybe.
Right. It's
But-
a snapshot, first impression.
The
Yeah.
people who are on RedCubed will be people that we've collaborated with, people who we've done things with, people we've talked to, friends of ours.
Yeah.
And we want, of course, the professionalism and all that kind of stuff. But the sub count in those cases matters almost nothing to me, anyway.
Yeah.
They have a good sub count can benefit us by having a large community come into the group. But at the same time, if you're already collaborating with someone and they're benefiting you in that way, just by helping your content grow, isn't that the point anyway?
Yep.
Exactly.
There was
and-
the counterpoint as well that, when we get a comment saying, do you want to collaborate? Do you want to do something with me? Do you want to make a video with me? That we're wise enough to look at things like the sub count to determine whether or not you would be beneficial to us.
One thing that I always look for is, like, how long have you done YouTube versus your sub count? So, like, I noticed that there are a lot of channels that get, like, discredited. It's like, you only have, like, 30 subscribers, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, you need time to develop your channel before you can start doing things like this. Like, I know a lot of people have asked me for collabs, and I'll look at their channel, and regardless of whether or not they have good content, it's a dual factor. See
Dual
how
factor. Hey, it's
See
A
how I
dual
worked
factor.
in your name there? Dual factor! But, so what I would do is I would go like, okay, this would be good for them, but what do I get out of it? Right? So
Yeah.
it has to be a mutual thing. So,
Definitely.
best advice that
Because
I
the
can...
thing is, for us, time is money.
Yes.
And
exactly.
So most people, they go to work, they go to school, and they get home, and that's their relaxation time. They turn on the TV or whatever. A lot of us, we go to work, we go to school, we get home and work on recording and doing that. Or for people like Poet, they're working all day long on this. And
While
and they
eating
just
his
keep working and
ramen
working at it.
noodles.
That's
Yeah.
right. I just ran out. I am foodless. You know what I had for dinner tonight? I had rice with some butter on it.
Dude, that's so good.
I know, isn't
man.
it, man?
It is
You would
so
like
good.
that.
The agent.
Yeah, of course you would like that, Asian my boy.
I'm ashamed to say that I tried that.
Yeah. I
No,
think
but it is good. It was good, but that's all that I have. I ran out of ramen noodles.
And so we can't just say yes to every little channel that comes up and says, "Hey, do you want to do something?" Because we just can't. We don't have time for all that. And so
Yeah.
when you go to someone's channel and you look at it and you're trying to decide, should I respond to this? Should I say yes? One of the things your eyes immediately go to is the sub count, because you want to do things with people around your size, share audiences. It's tough.
and
For me, it's always quality first, obviously. Like, I'll go to someone's channel if they want to do something and the message is written in such a way that it's it looks legit. Like they haven't
like no
sent
mass
it,
messages.
Yeah, they haven't sent it spam to a bunch of people. They're really just, they like my content, they want to work with me, and I like the way that they present themselves and message. I'll click onto their channel and I'll watch a video. I'll actually go through all that before I even see their sub count. If I don't really like the way that their content looks, but they have 100,000 subscribers, I might still take that into consideration. I won't deny that.
Yeah.
But seriously, the sub count matters very little when it comes to quality content being made. Like I gave the example of Winter. When I found her channel, she basically had sent me a few messages about a server that she was running in the past. And I guess at one point, this fossils and archaeology mod server had the same IP address or something, and I had maybe mentioned it in a video once. And so all these people were joining her server saying, hey, where's Poet? And so she came to me, like, where's Poet and where's the dinosaurs? So she came to me and said, can you please, like, stop it? Can you please change your IP? Can you tell people to stop? And I clicked onto her channel just to see, like, who the heck is this person telling me what to do? No, but I clicked onto her channel and saw that she was making videos, but only had maybe 10 subscribers. But the quality was that of someone who has thousands of subscribers. So that was what kind of clued it in to me. I think I went to Drew immediately and said, this person on now.
And Drew said, this person okay now.
Yeah.
Same thing with me and ADuelGet, basically, is the story behind that is there's this guy, Phantom NK, whose music I really liked, and he uses this symbol of a guy with a red mask. It's like a ninja,
from the
and
Shinobi
I had no
game.
idea what it was. Right, it's from Shinobi, which ADuelGet played, and so I have no idea what I looked up, but I saw the thumbnail and I was like, hey, I know that, so I clicked on it, and it was you with like a good Let's Playing voice, and I went to the channel, and all the thumbnails were really good, and the channel background was cool, and then my eyes go to the sub count, and I was like, something's wrong here. Like, I should see 10,000, I see 100, or less than that, and so I was like, I make friends with this guy right now.
And the thing is, there's nothing you can do to convince us to be passionate for you, right? It's something that's self-imposed. Like, one thing that I absolutely cannot stand is when I would make a rant about YouTube, and someone would reply and be like, yeah, you know, I deal with that on my YouTube channel too. And I'll click their channel, and they have like 5 subscribers. I'm like, what? Like, what is this like subtle advertisement that you're trying to do for yourself? Like,
you're right. Yeah, I did. That happens very little, but you do see the whole, you know, oh, on my YouTube channel, I see that a lot. I had this guy was actually doing the exact same series that I was doing, and he used to post on almost every single one of my videos saying, oh, on my channel, and then he'd somehow integrate it into what he was saying, and I kind of I let the first few pass because it didn't really click to me, but then when I saw it like a third time, like, gee, this guy mentions this channel a lot, and then like it happened a 4th time and a 5th time, to the point where I just started deleting the comments the second he'd make them. I don't know if he ever clued in, but the comments that he did make became less and less about his channel, and then they eventually stopped, so I can only assume.
It's funny, I got accused of that the other day on one of Biffa's videos because he's doing a cool project, so I started watching it because I thought it's really cool. It's like a sky base, and it reminds me so much of my flat world because I had to build everything up in the sky, and I'm always placing dirt and falling down into the water and like going again and again. And he was talking about it in his video. I was like, man, that reminds me so much of my Flat World series. And someone was like, very subtle. You suck. Get out. I was like, oh.
Like, I'll admit that I've done that thinking like if it was relevant and it actually wasn't just like spamming someone. I've done it thinking like, okay, well, this is a good comment too because people might want to check me out.
There's a difference between doing it and doing it on every single video.
Yeah, or doing it like actively with that intention, or it just comes up and then you're like, okay, well, that's a side benefit.
And the thing is, like, we're not stupid. We can see when you're trying to advertise yourself, you know?
It's not like I was watching his video. like for the purpose of making that comment. I wasn't watching and looking for a spot that I could relate to.
Yeah.
I just happened to relate to it, like, and then made the comment because of that.
The problem is that if you even try to defend yourself in that regards, you're going to be called on it even more.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look like an
So
asshole.
that's kind of what I would say to that is, you know what, you have a clean conscience, sleep well tonight, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I only got like a response like that negatively. One time Schism put a video up with him and his wife for the first time ever, and it just happened to be the exact same day and the exact same time that I put up a video with my girlfriend for the first time ever. And since I've talked to him before, I kind of know him. I mentioned that, and someone was like, "Oh, nice try, nice spam." I was like, "Dude, I know the guy.
Yeah.
It's like a weird coincidence.
Yeah.
Of course I'm gonna mention it, you know." So that was the only
that's
time
like
I
the
ever
other
had that.
day. The other day, I made a video and I was talking about how much I like Malcolm in the Middle and how I keep watching it. And like
Yeah.
a week later, Etho's like, "I love Malcolm in the Middle," and I was like, "Wow!"
Hello,
And, like, that's such
everyone.
an old
My name
show,
is
it's not even
Etho,
relevant.
and I love Malcolm in the Middle.
Oh, dead on.
That was worse than it could have. Yeah, that was a lot worse than it should have been.
It was okay.
Yeah. B
But,
C C
Speaking of
plus.
Schism started doing something with crafting tables. He's totally copying me.
Oh yeah. I think
Hashtag copying poet. Spam his videos.
Spam his videos. Don't
Yeah, but, I mean,
dislike
there's
though.
such-
Don't
so
dislike. Just
subjective.
spam hashtag stole
so
from poet.
subjective. I
Wolf
mean,
Poet Anderson D. Getz is going to sue you. Put that.
I've
in there.
always said to people, you know, don't go out of your way to defend me on other people's channels. And if you're going to other people's channels to defend some other YouTuber, I mean, nobody out there respects that.
And
Yeah.
nobody
Let
else
them-
cares either.
Let them do what they do.
There's no point in witch hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless
But going back to what HiBoy said about the we can tell we're not stupid. We did talk about that a little bit more in the last podcast that you'll never hear. In regards to people who send us the messages, like, do you want to collaborate with us? Even those who have high sub counts, sometimes we can look at their channel and say, like, well, the only reason that they have a high sub count is because they put out
Yeah.
this one animation or something that did really good. But the rest of their content, they post one video a month, and it's not very good.
Yeah.
You know, that's
And I think the
also a way of
conclusion
looking
we-
at sub count. So
Yeah, and the thing we came up with is that you need to say, you don't say to someone, "Will you do a collaboration with me?" You say, "Hey, I have an idea for a collaboration," and
Exactly.
then spit out this cool idea like, "Hi,
Yeah.
friend, this is something we can do that I thought
come
of that is
to
cool."
me with an idea.
And,
Now-
and don't
Yeah.
give a crappy idea either. It's like, hey, I have an
Yeah,
idea.
yeah.
We're gonna
Yeah.
start a server. It's gonna be
Yeah.
called Red Squared. And I want you to be part of it.
Yeah.
Like
It'll
the
be
thing
called
to the fourth.
blue halved or something like that.
Let dual
Square-
talk.
the
Square root of red.
the square root of red. The thing that annoys me the most is when people send like the mass messages and they say like, "Oh man, I really love your content or I love your videos," but you can tell it's a mass message. So right off the bat, you lose all integrity because I know you don't even know anything about me.
Yeah.
Yet you want to do a video with me for whatever ulterior motive, you know. So why should I even give you a chance? With those, I won't even really look at them most of the time. If it actually, I can tell they actually customized it to me, then of course I'm going to check it out, you know, and give them a chance.
Didn't that happen to you with Social Blade or something, or whoever you're partnered with?
Oh yeah,
Didn't they
that
say
was-
like
yeah. One of the
they
things
were
when
like, "I
was-
like this video," and they
Yeah,
just
I
like
like-
posted
yeah.
it.
It was like, I liked one of your Kaizo Cavern videos. I was like, okay, well that doesn't really
Tell
mean
you
Yeah,
anything.
you clicked on my channel, looked
Yeah,
for the
that's like-
latest video.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the latest video. Yeah.
Yeah, it was wicked
Yeah, I
funny.
see that on Hypixel a lot too. It's like, oh, hey, Potendo, I
Whoa.
love RedCubed. It's like, you just looked at my channel, didn't you?
that reminds me of something we talked about in the Long Lost podcast as well.
Yeah.
Was going on Hypixel, and then they ask, like you said before, they see, okay, what's your channel, and then what's the next question they ask you?
Yeah, how many subs?
See, that's the thing. Like,
How
that
many subs, Poet?
That shouldn't
And
be.
for me, I've always said the view count is much more important than the sub count. Because you look at a user base like I have, where they're mostly children, children who can't subscribe or just won't subscribe because they're kids. you get if you look at the age of the people who watch my videos on the graph, they're all between the ages of 35 and 65, and you gotta obviously clue in by the comments that are being made that no, those aren't 35-year-olds.
Yeah.
That they are kids on their parents' accounts, and the parents' accounts don't subscribe to you. So, I mean, the sub count for a channel like mine could be higher if my user base was an older age or something like that. Bottom line is that the view count that I have is that of a channel much larger.
And yet the thing is that because you have a lower sub count than say some other people that have even like less views than what you get, they might be given more credibility in some cases just based on that number, because people judge it too often. And I talked about this in the Lost podcast, where like I felt the internet has kind of always been a place where people can really get to know each other a lot easier than say like in the real world, where a lot of times you judge a book by a cover. On the internet, you don't really see the face of the person in a lot of instances. You get to know them personally on a deep level, and you form like a solid real friendship with someone, a real relationship.
And then you find out they're hideous, like what's happened with us, and it's
then,
like crap.
Then you ban Jake. But yeah, so I think that's one of the problems with YouTube now, where it's becoming where some of that real world stuff is coming into the internet fantasy world with like, instead of now it being on looks, which in some cases it still is, like people will see someone finally do a vlog for the first time and they'll be like, oh, you're fat or you're ugly or something like that. So there's still that factor, but for the most part it seems like subs is like the new thing. That's the sexy thing. You see someone,
that is the one thing. I got the comment on, it was actually on, I think, one of Hypixel servers or on something like that, where the guy asked me how many subscribers I had, and I told him. And the guy said, oh, well, Curtis Minecraft has 5 million. Or something like that. And it was
I can do that.
What's your point? Like, he makes videos, I make videos. We both work just as hard on our videos. You know, content is content. If you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But are you saying that the only reason you checked out his channel, the only reason that you subscribed to him, is because he had a lot of other subscribers?
And do you think I want to be friends with them? Like, we have our own group of friends. I'm happy where I am. I don't want to leave. I would never, if I got invited to whatever it is, Code Crafted, what is it? Team Crafted?
Sure.
Or whatever his team is, I would say no, because the Sky Party. I would say no because I don't know any of them. It's just they have a lot of subscribers. I'd rather be here where I know everybody, and we don't get as many views. But that's fine with me because we're friends, right? So,
or you could be like me and ditch your friends and go to a new server where you only know one guy.
Ingenious.
We kind of talked about that too, the friendship thing. Like, you know, we're more likely to collaborate with people that we can click with, that we know that we'll work with, that we'll mesh with.
And again,
like,
this does not mean that just because you think that you can mesh with us, that will happen.
I mean, we're smart enough to know who we'll get along with. It could be something very subtle to you that you might think, well, gee, I'd be perfect friends with HiBoy. I don't know why he'd ever reject me for doing a video, but to HiBoy, maybe there's something that he just doesn't quite like.
You can't steal my fire. If you're good, I'm afraid. No, I'm kidding. But
no, but it's basically
that's why we haven't done one yet.
At the end of the day, it's personal
and it's
preference.
so easy to be drowned out amidst thousands and thousands. Like there are so many people doing this, doing YouTube, and then doing Let's Playing within that if there's not some special spark that makes us say, "Oh, look at that guy," then it's hard to go much of anywhere.
The problem
is,
fact, like,
probably won't.
The problem is the root of it comes down to who actually has dedication and who doesn't, and who is delusional thinking that they have the dedication and they don't. There's so many people doing YouTube that honestly shouldn't be doing it. I mean, you can make videos for fun, but don't go out and contact people that you can tell are obviously putting serious work into their channel and think that they're going to spend time to do a video with you. And it's not just because they don't benefit from it. It's just that time is so precious, so valuable that they could get a lot out of it. And it's not just collabing with random people as well. Like, I've considered time as a factor when like events come up with friends and stuff. Like, okay, I can go on their live stream and spend a couple of hours, but then I'll have fun, but at the same time I'll lose all those hours I could spend editing a video to put up on my channel. So of course that comes into like consideration as well when you think about doing something with someone else. It's just when it's someone random like that, it's even less of a chance that you're going to consider it. So one thing that you can guarantee that people will take you seriously down the road in the long run if you take yourself serious enough. And if you don't know what you're doing on your channel, then how do you expect someone to trust you enough to do a video with you? That's the thing.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: take your channel seriously, but don't take the game seriously.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
a very big difference between those two.
Yes.
As well. I mean, think with
Go on.
Oh, another
you were
thing
talking.
with like just YouTube and sub counts and things like that is that subscribers used to have a lot more impact because the sub box actually worked, and people actually got the videos that they wanted, and there were also a lot less YouTube channels out there. So now it's more of like sub count is just kind of a trophy show.
And unfortunately, the people who benefited from it early on are the ones who are still benefiting from it now.
Yeah.
A lot of the people that I used to watch may not even have the content quality or the talent or the whatever. And this is just, of course, my personal opinion. But I see what they're doing. I see what other people do. And I see, like, well, that person has 1 million subscribers. This guy has 50. You know, and yet their quality and content and everything's the same.
I mean,
the
Smosh
new
still has a
person
place on YouTube, and
the new person will never
since
benefit.
it started.
That's the really bad thing, is that it is super difficult, especially from, like, if you're doing Minecraft videos exclusively, if you're doing gaming content in general. It's very difficult to get a foothold in that whole experience when other people who had the benefit of the working sub boxes and the fact that nobody else was really doing it at the time. Of course, they were going to get all the initial subscribers, and they will maintain that. Whereas a new person has to struggle against thousands of other people all wanting that foothold.
Yep. You got to be adaptive.
And the problem I've experienced too is, like, it seems like a lot of the people that got that fan base, that sub count, like maybe say a 2 years ago, a year ago, or something like that, when things were a little bit different, they still have that mentality where it's just all about subs. And I have people that I at least would think are my friends that when it comes down to it, they're going to take that as the main factor of why not to include me in something or not to do any kind of collaboration with me, even when I come at them with ideas, which is a shame, because I personally know, and I've been called arrogant for this belief, but I personally know I have enough talent enough to make it work to be on any server. I'm confident in myself and my own abilities. But the thing is, I can't convince someone that I have talent if they use some kind of statistic as a measuring stick of my talent. So that's the problem that goes the other way in terms of sub count, where you judge someone that even if you know them, you still judge them on sub count. I think that's a shame. I don't think
I judge them on how big a beard they have.
Yeah, which
HiBoy, you're pretty low on the list.
I'm high on the list. I think I'm the
Jewish on the
highest
list.
on RedCubed, right?
No, Mogswamp's #1, isn't he?
Oh, well, his beard is Jewish. It doesn't count.
Jews are disqualified. Well, on that light note, we do have a very last question.
No, I have a segue for that. Hold off. No, I was just gonna say, sub counts, like, demand, like, you don't get respect if you don't have a high sub count. That was my last thing to say. But even before sub counts, even before you look at sub counts, your first impression, your very, very first impression, is the channel name.
Yep.
Not the sub counts, because you got to click on the channel name to get to the sub count, right?
Yep.
And so the look and feel of your channel is one thing, but the very first thing is your channel name. So would you guys redo it if you had the chance?
Probably yes.
Why?
Any
I would say no.
I mean, thing is, y'all have like really good names, right? Like Poet, ADuelGet, like Mogswamp. Like those are all very generic names. But when you look at the name HiBoy, you think one of two things,
Boy.
okay? Either I'm some stupid like little kid who's trying to make it,
Or you're a toker.
or I'm a guy who's so like 420 blaze it that I decided to put it in my name, right?
Yeah.
Neither of which I am, except for maybe no, I'm kidding.
He
But-
wants to be high man.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is,
Oh, that's disgusting.
hey, we agreed to never make that joke. But
I guess that's why they call it the RedCube server.
oh no,
Willie
Oh,
Wolfman.
what?
No.
Oh.
but
Go,
like the
blow it
thing
up.
is,
You went too far, DuelGet. You
my
crossed.
That's my specialty.
ban a
That's why you
dual
guys
get no, but what happens is like people look at my name and they expect content entirely different from what I do. Not that I don't have fun, but I also have mature content as well. So it makes things difficult for me. So like I would much prefer to have Poet's name. That way Poet would have to come up with something else. Yeah.
Do you have any idea of what you would change it to though if you had
Poet plays.
Oh,
Nintendo.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, Potendo.
Yeah, man.
What about you, Poet? Because I mean, Poet
Person-
is just. I mean, it is kind of like a generic name. It's just a poet, and he plays games. And how did you come about that name, actually?
They asked me that on the Shaft podcast too, and my answer there is the same here. It's basically it was a four-digit dictionary word that just worked at the time. If I get into it even more, like it's been following me on the internet since the dawning of the internet. Like I was in a hacker group, and we all had at the time they were all basically your handle. Like you get Neo from the Matrix type of idea, right? Trinity. Mine was Poet. That was just the way that it was back in the 90s hacker culture.
Yeah.
Was you all had this persona online that you kept. And that was mine. It followed me all the way to here. And why would I ever think of why would I ever want to have a different
Yeah, because
different
it's you.
username?
It's ingrained in you. That's the thing.
Yeah,
That's-
it's followed me for so long. It's basically my second name. It's a name that more people know me by than probably people in real life, or
Yeah,
very
exactly.
close. Well, I can say that for a fact because of the channel.
Yeah.
But like personal friends and stuff, it's probably 50-50 split. Know me by Poet or know me by my real name. That's just the way that it is.
All this time, I just thought it was because you had a way with words.
I do have-
So such eloquence.
Poetry was always important to me when I was younger, and that's maybe what influenced it. Like it's why it would come to mind right away when I was thinking of a name for myself back
Yeah.
then, I guess. It was always something that I did. Like instead of writing essays and stuff for literature exams in university, I would write poetry. And I'm not talking just like roses are red, violets are blue. I'm talking about like I would write poetry that was bigger than most short novels. And that kind of influenced it too, like why I should keep it.
Makes sense. All right. Well,
I would still keep it. Minecraft
Yeah.
username maybe I would change. Poet was not available, even though I can still alias myself to it on the Hypixel server, which should indicate that it is available. You cannot register the name Poet on Minecraft, and that's always upset me.
maybe it's because it's 4 digits.
Not sure. I'm really not. Yeah, I see a lot of other 4-digit names.
Oh, really?
Characters.
Oh wait, yeah, Nia and
Jeb.
others. Yeah, Jeb.
Yeah.
I always
Nia.
felt like Jeb just had special privileges.
The username God.
Oh man, yeah.
He's-
That,
Would I change mine? No, I would not.
Hmm.
I made sure of that when I made it because I decided I've had so many aliases on the internet,
Yeah.
but I needed to get rid of those to start this new thing, or else people would see all my prepubescent adventures on the internet. And so,
Oh god.
please, someone go try to find it. Please
No, they'll get
track his
jailed for
IP, like whatever.
oh god, gross.
His initials in real life are MOG.
Oh,
not at all actually.
No, I know that.
So yeah, what I did was I decided it needed to be really catchy and have a ring to it. That was one of the criteria. Another
Swamp
criteria
has
was
a
that
ring.
Swamp has a ring.
Of water.
Another criteria was that you had to be able to look it up on Google and it would yield no results. So that I would build this entirely ground up. It would never get confused with anything else. And I decided
See,
no
that's
numbers.
the thing about poet as a name. When people search for it,
Yeah.
you get Samuel Coleridge and not me, or you get Edgar
Yeah,
Allan.
Walt Whitman.
Thing that I didn't
Edgar Allan Poetendo.
thing that I didn't know was that HiBoy is a car, like an
Oh, yeah?
old school
Really?
car. So when I first started YouTube, I was like, man, everyone's gonna search up like HiBoy, and they're gonna be able to see my name. And I would type HiBoy in the search bar, and I would just see a bunch of like old cars. I was like, I'm getting beaten by like grandpa cars. Like, oh.
I mean, some people, I feel bad for their names, like XD
Yeah.
Jake XXX125.
Oh, wow.
Oh my
I'm
god.
like, ooh.
His entire,
Or,
his entire zip
Yeah,
code's there.
he somehow likes those names, and then his
Or,
YouTube
like-
channel is iJakeXD123, and then his Minecraft username is XDEEJake123. or
Twitter's
something.
different. And it's just
Yeah,
And then there's
underscore
Liam.
JakeX.
Then there's Liam. I'm like, I wonder how old Chuckles 1996 is. Huh. That's weird.
I thought it was chickens.
He's obviously 30. I mean,
Yeah.
it's hands down.
He's often actually said to me that he's considered changing his username, but it's, again, grown on him so much, and people know him by that so much that he couldn't now.
Yeah, that's the
Exactly,
thing.
yeah.
That's why when you first start out, you have to, at least now these days, take into consideration that if you did become successful, that you're going to be stuck with that name pretty much.
Right.
Mhm.
And
Number
that's what I
one,
did.
picture yourself in a world where everyone knows your name.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Would they want... Yeah, exactly. In the world of Cheers, would you want people to be repeating your name in public? As far as like having vulgarity in it or something. Would you want news organizations to be able to run your name? Would you want people to be able to talk about it around the dinner table? Would you want friends to talk about it between friends and stuff?
Do you think people would be comfortable saying the name? That's the thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Is it hard to
Another
remember?
one is, how does it hold up 10 years from now when you're older? Like, I know that the whole Chuckles 1996 is a good example, because you look at that name and you think, well, the name itself is written for someone of that generation,
Mm-hmm.
It's very much like the lowercase x, uppercase x, username, uppercase x, lowercase x type of thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Of course.
You got to look at your username and say to yourself, like, is this something that I want to keep with me 10 years from now, or even longer?
Is this an Xbox Live username or a YouTube username?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's basically, you have to consider that this is the name that people are going to refer to you as, just not online typing, like if you're on some forum or something, but actually saying the name. You're going to hear your name. So if you cringe when you hear someone say your name, then maybe it's not a good name,
In
Hey
other
guys,
words,
this is Creeperman69.
Man.
and I'm about to
Man,
explode all
69,
over you.
His old my page.
This is HiBoy420 here.
Yeah.
Hey guys, like,
But how did you
like-
get the Mogswamp name? Where did you come up with that?
So what I did was I knew I had to be like catchy. So when I was a kid in second grade, I made a AIM account, and I had a ton of inside jokes because no one had an AIM account in second grade. It was just like me and two friends, because I was always ahead of my time with that stuff. So I looked through all the chat logs looking for like inside jokes, and one day it was just literally we were typing up, like making up a bunch of words, and one of them was Mogswamp, and I was just like, that is catchy. It was Og the Mogswamp was like the sentence, and then I was like, Mogswamp, and I just chose it.
and
I thought about it for a good week, but yeah.
amazing. ADuelGet, would you change your name?
No, I wouldn't. I actually have to admit, I definitely did put a lot of thought into it when I started the channel, but even when I selected the name and went with it, I'm like, are people going to get this? Are they going to be able to say it? Will they feel comfortable saying it? Because it's such a weird name, but it comes from I've told the story a couple times in videos and to a couple people. I'm pretty sure at least Mogswamp here knows what it's from. And as a kid, like we would go to a pizza place when I was like maybe 3, 4, 5 years old, and that was in the early 90s, late 80s when Street Fighter came out, and it was huge in the arcades when it came out in like 1992. Street Fighter 2 did. And I would play all the arcade games like when we'd go there, like I think it was almost weekly, and I got pretty good at Street Fighter for a 5-year-old kid, to where at the point I was beating like adults, like teenagers and stuff like that. And I don't still know how I did it, because now if I go back, I'm not like a pro at the game or anything, but I just know I was good when it first came out. And I always picked, of course, the main character, Ryu, and so I like the character. And when he would shoot the fireballs, since we're little kids, we don't know how things are like actually said. A lot of times you'll say something wrong.
Not to mention, it was in some pretty. I mean, we're talking digitalized audio from way back when.
Yeah.
And it's Japanese, so like a little American kid's not gonna know what the hell's going on. So, like me and my brother and my cousin all thought like it sounded like DuelGet or a DuelGet instead of Hadouken. So, we've said that ever since. Like whenever we'd play the games, we'd say like a DuelGet, like whenever we did it. And so when I was thinking back on what to use for a name, I figured that was cool because it had a great story. It allowed me to also incorporate that early stage in me getting into video games, because basically that was the beginning. It was like Nintendo Entertainment Center system, and then that was my earliest memories for the most part with video games. So it gave me a good story. It gave me a unique name that no one's going to have out there. No one's going to have that name. And then the side effect of it that I found that a lot of people actually do like the name. It's funny that I've actually noticed a lot of women like the name just because it sounds cool. I don't know, like I think remember Mog, you did like a live stream the first time we ever talked to each other officially, with our voices, which is how how people talk normally. But I think Katie was there at the end of it, and I don't know if it was the first one. It might have been a second one or something. But she was for some reason my name came up, and she was like, "Oh, I like that name." And then then there was a B00's sister at one point, because I was doing streams with Pungents, and my name came up because I was in there with him, and she's like, "Oh, I like that name," So it's like it's funny that
DuelGet gets all the women. And on that note, we are at the end of our podcast. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want to go check out ADuelGet's channel,
I decided right now I'm changing it. I'm going to become a PvP expert.
Okay.
A PvP King Duck.
A PvP.
Well, there will be a link to PvP Expert's channel in the description.
PvP King Duck.
I'd like some pound cake.
So yeah, I think that's it for the podcast. Thank you guys so much for watching, and
thank you guys.
Bye. See you guys next time.
Please subscribe.
Bye.
Gamer of the week.